Hi, friends. Welcome to another episode of my song and story show. Today's song will be Bhuli Hui Yaadon Mujhe Itna Na Satao. This is at the request of my cousin Hema Raman, who stays in Bengaluru. Hope she is fine and locked in her house, in her flat rather. And we'll do it later on after I finish this story for today. Now, this story, it's getting murkier and murkier. This affair of telling stories. I don't know. I started with something, and now I am being pushed towards so many things. Now, last time I told you about the war of these memories. That Perambur memory. I told you that this Perambur memory is like a person inside me arguing with me to share his story with you all. And last time I narrated a few incidents which I thought will make him happy and keep him quiet so that I can move on further. But unfortunately, he wants me to share more of those Perambur memories. You have to remember that we were in Perambur. Before coming to Perambur, Chennai, we were in Mysore. And that was for a brief time. At that time, I was a toddler. I just went to school, my first school, Nirmala Convent in Mysore. We used to stay on Kalidasa Road or some fifth cross Kalidasa Street or something. Anyway, we shifted to Chennai maybe in 1963 or 64, 63 maybe, 62 or 63. So you have to remember that those Perambur days were really childhood days for me. I was born in 57, so I was 5 or 6 at that time when we landed up in Perambur. Now this Perambur person, he's so stubborn. He's just a 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 8-year-old kind of guy inside me, sticking still, uh, still looking young and stubborn. Now this guy wants me to share memories. How can I bring out memories of 6 years, 7 years old child here? Anyway, he is helping me. I am surprised that a few memories have sprung up, which I shared with you last time. And this episode also, let me share with you a couple of stories. This time around, I'd like to share with you some people who I remember from my Perambur days. Instead of narrating some other incidents, I'll tell you about some people, interesting people related to me. So on top of that people list is my नानी. मेरी नानी जो हैं वो उनकी याद मुझे बहुत आई जब ये पेरम्बूर की बात आ रही है. तो वो इसलिए क्योंकि हम बच्चे लोग जो हैं वी वर वेरी क्लोज टू आवर नानी, maternal grandma. And that was because they were also staying in Chennai. My relatives from my mother's side, my mama, maternal uncles, I had two of them, and aunts, again two of them, they were all staying in Chennai, in fact. So we had a lot of close interaction with them, and my grandma, in fact, she is a very inspiring kind of person for me. She was stone blind. That is, from my childhood, I've seen her blind, and she was fair, tall, very good looking for her age. She must have been more beautiful when she was young, in fact. And she was quite a person. She used to come and stay with us, with our family also, for a while. And I always used to stick around her and wonder how she was able to move around the house without tripping over anything, or for that fact, how she could manage her life without wearing her clothes and doing stuff. I used to be in awe of her. So I used to sit with her and talk to her, and she used to talk with me, and narrate stories and all. And when I grew up, years later, years later, in fact, when this I was bitten by this story writing bug. Suddenly one day, Nani came up to me in my dream and said, you're writing so many stories. Why not write a story about me also? So at that time, I was wondering, what story can I write about my grandma? There were very few incidents which I could recall. But as I thought about this, that slowly and gradually, I started creating a fictional personality of my grandma, which finally ended up in a book called Grandma Tales. It is a published ebook. I published it as an ebook on Amazon, and it is a book which glorifies my grandmother. Uh, what I remember about her and what I put in that book also, amongst various other fictional things, was the fact that she enjoyed watching movies. But can you imagine a person who can't see anything but very fond of movies? She used to take us for movies. We used to go to the theater, sit in the darkened room and watch Tamil movies. And she used to be like, staring blankly at the screen as if she was really watching the movie. In fact, she was hearing everything, all the dialogues and all. And she used to keep nudging at us, nudging us and pestering us, when there was kind of suspenseful tune or a scene without dialogues and all. She used to ask us, like, what's happening, what's happening, क्या हो रहा है screen पे, क्या hero villain आ गया क्या, is the hero going to die or is he going to kill somebody, that kind of stuff. She used to ask us, keep asking us. Oh, we loved grandma. That is for sure, in fact. And my tribute to her was that book, Grandma Tales. And apart from my grandma, my grandma used to live with my mother's elder brother, my uncle, who was called Mutha Mama. Mutha Mama. Mutha in Tamil, I figured out, in Mutha means elder. So he was the eldest, so he was Mutha. So Mutha Mama we used to call. In fact. Now Mutha Mama was also a character. He was a very kind of cheerful person. We used to meet him a lot. We used to go to meet our grandma. He used to stay in Egmore. And for your information, I was born in Egmore in a municipal hospital. And that was probably because my uncle Mutha Mama used to live there. So we used to go and meet Mr. Mutha Mama, and he used to have this big easy chair. We called it ease chair, a floppy kind of chair with long armrests, and that was his throne. He used to sit there, eat there, have his coffee there, read newspapers, sleep there, like that person I told you about, that Madhavaram High Road house on the swing. So this was Mutha Mama's throne. So I used to wait, till for my uncle to vacate that chair so that I can jump into it. And every bit of time I used to get on the chair, I used to enjoy. I used to love. I used to just sink into that chair. Like that is one memory which I have of Mutha Mama. And Mutha Mama lived for 97 years till he finally passed away last year. That was amazing. He lived alone, did all his stuff on his own, and till the very end, he led a very happy and healthy life. May his soul rest in eternal peace. So my other uncle was called Babu Mama. His name was Babu Mama. I remember he used to work in Simpsons. I think it is a paint factory or something like that. Simpsons was the name. I think it was a paint factory. So he was my kind of all-time favorite mama, because he was more a friend than some elder uh, for me. So we used to go to his house a lot, and he used to come to our house a lot. And always, I remember he used to take me out alone. Uh, in fact, he used to smoke. So he just he used to take me out, go to the cigarette shop, light a cigarette, and then he would start telling me about cricket. That was at that time my favorite sport. So he would tell me, he used to ask me, what do you like, batting or bowling? I used to say bowling. He said, what kind of bowling? Fast bowling or spin bowling? I said, spin. Which kind of spin? No, you off spin or leg spin. Yeah, then he used to tell me, you should have this flight like Irapalli Prasanna, and then you should have this googly like bowl googlies like Chandrasekhar, and you should also learn to turn the ball like Venkatraghavan. Now, incidentally, Venkatraghavan was uh, related to us. He was a far removed cousin of my mother and my uncle, in fact. So he used to talk as if he was an expert in cricket. So anyway, it was just a excuse for him to go out for a quick smoke. So I remember him. He was always cheerful, cracking jokes, very witty, and very very friendly. Yeah. Then there was this aunt of mine, Chandra Chitti. Chitti is Mosi, so aunt, maternal aunt. So Chandra Chitti, I think of the lot she was. My mother had two other sisters. There were three sisters, including my mother. Now, of the three, I think Chandrasati was the fairest, and she was the most beautiful of the lot. Yeah. And we used to love to go to Chandrasati's house. She used to stay in a place called Royapeta. It's still there. It's an upmarket place. Even at that time, it was upmarket. And they owned a huge bungalow there. I think she was the richest amongst our relatives on either side, because her husband, my uncle, he used to run a dairy business. It was his family business, dairy. They used to make butter, sell it, milk and milk products, and a huge, big, thriving business, because they had this uh, big bungalow on Raipata Road, and they had car. Uh, yeah, they had a car also. And when I always looked at him, I used to feel that kind of richness ooze out of every pore. He used to wear gold minor chain and stuff like. Not only he, but his brother, his father. That whole house was opulent. So going there was like a visit to Disneyland or something for me and my sister. When we used to go there, we were treated like royally, given nice things to eat, and that house itself was roaming around that house, and again there was that swing thing is very kind of traditional in South India. So they had this huge swing where we used to sit and enjoy. And at that time, my cousin Ramesh, I think he was small, and my aunt was really, she was kindness kind of personified. So we used to love meeting her anytime, and of course there's another story behind her, which I had made a short story on her also, which I won't narrate now. It was from a riches to rags and then back story with her and her family, which maybe sometime else I'll share. And finally, there was Maithili Chitti. Maithili Chitti was the youngest of the lot, and she was also one hell of a customer. In fact, we loved her, and her husband. uh, he was a doctor, radiologist. Yeah, a radiologist, in fact, and they were also a very wealthy family. You know, they also lived in a huge house. I remember well, and lined with coconut trees, and of course, coconut trees were found everywhere, and even now can be found everywhere in Chennai. It's a in thing there. So and my chitti, she was also very cheerful and very affectionate and very caring and very loving person. In fact, of course, she's still there, and despite huge crushing problems, she is so graceful and she manages herself so well. I really admire her. Hats off to Maithili Chitti. Right. She also has cancer, not now, but for the last 15 years. But you talk to her, you'll never know, she is under any kind of pressure. Right. So sweet. So these are some people who I remember from my Perambur days. They were, of course, related to me. And as far as friends are concerned, there's one person who I recall very clearly. He was in fact our neighbor, and he used to live on the Madhavaram High Road building on the upper floor, the first floor. You remember I told you about those winding stairs and a separate entry? No, he used to live in that portion, and for them the entry and exit was the winding stairs. Right. So I remember Ramesh very well because he was elder to me, and he initiated me into a lot of things. Right. His father was a pharmacist. He owned a pharmacy store, a pharmacy in Perambur, opposite somewhere near the railway station. In fact, and his father used to smoke. So this guy was also tempted. He used to see smoke cigarette packs, and he was a big collector of those cigarette packs. Ramesh had this strange hobby. He used to he had told his father that whenever the cigarette the pack was empty, he should have that pack. So he had a huge collection of some 500 cigarette packs. And one of the pastimes we had, and different brands, Camel and I don't Charminar, what I don't even recall those brands. So what we used to do is, we used to keep them like this in a row, one upon the other, sliding, and just tap the last one, and everything would fall. We used to play that game. I was fascinated by that, and he was also tempted to pinch cigarettes from his father's pocket sometimes and try it out. So once he took me along, and we walked down on that winding staircase, and he didn't know how to light the cigarette. So we wedged it between the door, and then took a pack of matches and lit it, and then started blowing it. That was my, I think that was the once and only time that I smoked a cigarette, just out of fun, kind of. So another sport which he introduced me to was kite flying. That was interesting. We used to fly a lot of kites, and he was an expert in flying kites. And I used to hold the string, the चरखी, वो मैं पकड़ के पीछे खड़ा रहता था, वो पतंग उड़ाता था. तो हम लोग क्या करते थे कि वो पतंग के जो डोर है, उसमें हम मांझा खुद लगाते थे घर पे बना के. और उसका प्रोसेस जो है वो भी एक बड़ा अजीब सा प्रोसेस था. टूटे फूटे बल्ब जो है, पुराने बल्ब, फ्यूज़ हुए हुए बल्ब जो है, वो कहीं से लाते थे, उसका चूरा चूरा करके उसको किसी स्टार्च या किसी चीज़ से मिलाते थे, और उसमें थोड़ा रंग डाल के, जो भी मांझा का रंग चाहिए, डोर में जो लगाना है, तो हम उड़ सफ़ेद जो टॉइन है, उड़ाने का जो डोर है, उस पे हम लगाते थे। वो एक बड़ा लंबा चौड़ा प्रोसेस था। So, this kite flying and, applying manja to make the thread, provide that cutting edge to that thread. So, this is what I remember. So, I think this is all the memories I have about Perambur. So, we'll close Perambur for a while and listen to the song भूली हुई यादों मुझे इतना न सताओ. Okay, fine. So before we finish today's episode, uh, there's a request song from my cousin Hema. She wanted to listen to भूली हुई यादों मुझे इतना न सताओ, sung by Mukesh. So here I go. Hema, this is for you and of course for all other listeners. Just give me a second till I hit the karaoke and get started. I don't know whether I'll be getting that nasal tone you wanted, but anyway, Mukesh is Mukesh and the song is the song. So here we go. भूली हुई यादों मुझे इतना न सताओ, अब चैन से रहने दो, मेरे पास न आओ. भूली हुई यादों मुझे इतना न सताओ, अब चैन से रहने दो, मेरे पास न आओ. भूली हुई यादों. दामन में लिए बैठा हूँ टूटे हुए तारे, टूटे हुए तारे. कब तक मैं जीऊँगा यूं ही ख्वाबों के सहारे, ख्वाबों के सहारे. संभला गिर गिर के मुझे फिर न गिराओ, अब चैन से रहने दो, मेरे पास न आओ. भूली हुई यादों. लूटो ना मुझे इस तरह दो राहें पेला के, दो राहें पेला के. आवाज न दो एक नई राह दिखा के, नई राह दिखा के. दीवाना हूँ अब और न दीवाना बनाओ, अब चैन से रहने दो, मेरे पास न आओ. भूली हुई यादों मुझे इतना न सताओ, अब चैन से रहने दो, मेरे पास न आओ, भूली हुई यादों में। So that was the song, and with this we end today's episode. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, then as usual, see it, like it, react, comment, do whatever, but do something. Okay, that will encourage me. Thank you all. Bye bye.